Hello, welcome to Oceanic Oracle. My name is Ari and today we're going to be drawing my June TBR. June is an exciting month because while it's Pride Month, it's also the month for Whateverathon or Whatever You Want-a-thon. This is a readathon that was created by Book Browsing Blog. I took part in it last year and I'm taking part in it this year. I'm so excited. This is actually the thing that made me want to start a booktube channel, so we're going back to that and I'm just so excited. Not only are we going to be drawing cards from my deck, but I'm also going to be sticking a bingo board up because this year the prompts are all on a bingo board and I have to make sure that the books that I draw from these also work for the books that I'm going to be reading for the bingo card. If you don't know how Whateverathon works, Whateverathon is a readathon where you pledge to join certain teams. Each team has their own 4 special prompts. So the team that I've joined is the Shelf Slayers because I think out of the bingo cards, that's the easiest thing for me to actually play. I like the team captains who are on this team, so I'm very happy that I can take part in it. If you are interested in the rules and the point system, I'm going to link the announcement video for Whateverathon 2 up in the eye because there's so many rules and if I explain them this could be a really long video. I'm on the Shelf Slayers, which is the purple team. I have a bingo card which I will show you later on after I draw my cards, and the main premise of this is you pledge to read a certain number of books. This month I've pledged to read 14 books, which is 3 more cards than I have here. I'm going to need some leeway based on some of these prompts. I am just basically going to be drawing the last few cards in my stack. As you've heard, I pledged to read 14 books. I only have 11 cards here, but that means I will have played through the whole deck, and starting in July I can draw again, starting from the beginning, which should be fun. If you're looking for the rules to my TBR game, I will be linking those up in the eye as well. I'll link my playlist. Be sure to check out my January TBR if you're looking for the rules. But the basic premise for my TBR game is I have these cards that I've made these cards at the beginning of the year. All my cards come in sets. So this is my orange set. And for each of these, if I have a certain number, I can pass on things if I want. But mainly I use these cards to act as my prompts for what books I'm going to be reading. I only have 11 left in the deck, so you're going to see me drawing those out of the deck. I am going to shuffle and deal. Not that it really makes much of a difference seeing as I'm pulling all of them out, but I'm going to be doing that and we're going to be going to my table. Come along and watch me draw the last 11 cards in my deck. Then we'll get to some booktube. Hello, welcome to my mini table where I draw all my prompts. So I have shuffled and cut the deck. Not that it really matters seeing as I'm drawing all of them. The first card for my June TBR is, oh yes, Heart Don't Fail Me Now. Read a historical romance. Well, I can definitely do that. The first card that I picked up was Heart Don't Fail Me, which is to read a historical romance. I have plenty of these, but the one that I'm actually going to read, because I have something on my bingo card that relates to it, is To Sir Philip with Love. And as you can see, it's a very purple cover. The reason it's important is because one of my prompts for my team, the Shelf Slayers, in one of my purple boxes, as you can see, is purple cover. Hence, To Sir Philip with Love, because it is quite purple. To Sir Philip with Love also fits my favourite genre category. I'm not going to deny it. This is one of my favourite genres and I'm just eating it up. So there's that. To Sir Philip with Love works for my Heart Don't Fail Me Now card, as well as my purple cover and my favourite genre prompts on my bingo board. Time for card number 2, and this is, Until the Last Petal Falls. Read a fairy tale retelling. Okay, I can do that. Okay, card number 2, Until the Last Petal Falls. Now this is to read a fairy tale retelling. And the way that I'm going about this is, oh surprise, I'm rereading An Offer from a Gentleman. I'm in the mood and I want to read Benedict's book again. So that works for a fairy tale retelling because it is a historical romance retelling of Cinderella and I really enjoy reading it. Aside from this card, for my bingo board, this is a hybrid genre. It is historical fiction and romance. So historical romance, it is a hybrid genre. This book also works for my The Anne of A and prompt. Now this prompt is pretty self-explanatory. It's to read a book with The Anne of A and in the title. So Anne offer, from a gentleman works. So those are my two prompts for my bingo board, as well as my card that I drew. So all's going swimmingly for now, but yeah, there we go. Card number 3 is Courage Don't Desert Me. Read any book featuring a magical weapon. I've just drawn Courage Don't Desert Me, which is to read a book with a magical weapon. And my take on a magical weapon may annoy some people, but I'm going to be reading Beasts of Prey. And my interpretation of a magical weapon is actually a wild and mysterious power that gets unleashed by one of the main characters in this book. And I'm very excited. This was released in 2021. And I saw a lot about it on Instagram. I'm very excited. I have heard some pretty good things about it and I can't wait. From my bingo board, this works for my 2021 release. So there we go. I am looking forward to picking that up and I'm excited. Card number 4 is, highly hyped book. Read any book that has been highly hyped. Okay. I know what I'm going to pick for this one. I've just drawn highly hyped book. Read a highly hyped book. The book I've chosen for this is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Last year I read The People We Meet on Vacation. That was a fun one. And I've also read her first book, which is Beach Read. This is a book about book lovers and I've heard mixed reviews about this. Quite a few people I follow say they like it, some people don't, so I'm excited to see what I think about it. This book follows a book publisher and an author. They're both a bit jaded. It's about the book publishing industry and I'm just excited. I'm excited to see where it goes and what it's like, so there is that. For my bingo card, this also only fits one prompt and that is recently hauled. I got this at the beginning of the month on Kindle. So it's a very recent haul and I'm very excited, so I'm looking forward to reading it. Oh, I'm so excited. I really do like Emily Henry's writing and I hope I like this book, so we'll see. Card number 5 is Out of This World. Read a book that takes place in a land not our own. Okay. I've just drawn Out of This World. The book that I've chosen for this card is Under the Whispering Door. It's an adult fantasy. TJ Klune has written some pretty hyped books, I believe. This was released last year. I'm excited to see what I think. I've heard that TJ Klune's writings are sort of like middle grade for adults, and I do read quite a bit of middle grade fiction, so I'm excited to see what I think of this. You also have, I believe it's a gay romance in here, so that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to picking this up. So this book works for the prompt The of A and because there's a the, but it also works for a 2021 release. I can repeat prompts, but I cannot count any bingos that I get from them, so I will be doubling up on those prompts. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to reading this and I can't wait. Card number 6 is, ends in an even number. Read any book that ends in an even number. Okay. So I've just picked up Ends in an Even Number, and the book I've chosen for that is Solitaire by Alice Oseman. If you don't know who Alice Oseman is, she wrote Heartstopper. She's fantastic. Solitaire ends on an even number, so as you can see you have 139 here, which is the resources page that I don't really count. So this one ends in 390. Solitaire follows Tori Spring, who you will know if you've read or watched the Heartstopper series. Charlie Spring is Tori's younger brother. So this is about Tori's story and her life at school. Tori is a bit of a social outcast. She used to have friends the year before, but now She just has solitaire and this guy called Michael Holden. Something about this just sort of grabs my attention. I really enjoy Alice Oseman's writing. I cannot wait to pick this up. I believe this also has asexual representation in it, so if you're interested in looking into asexual representation in books, Alice Oseman's books are really good for that. Loveless, which is here, is about an ace main character. This is about, I believe Tori's asexual. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm so excited. This book is going to be a part of my less read genres. I don't really read contemporary, like YA contemporary romance a lot. I believe this is going to be a nice YA contemporary. It's going to be something different and I have high hopes, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for this book. But yeah, that definitely fits my ends in an even number card. Card number 7 is There Was Nothing. Read a book classed as mythology. Okay. There Was Nothing. Read a book classed as mythology. This is going to be, I'm sure no one is surprised what book this is going to go for. It's going to be for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the final book in the series, The Last Olympian. This will be the end of my Percy Jackson reread for the year. I'm so excited. I absolutely love this series and I cannot wait. The Last Olympian is fantastic. I cannot sing this series' praises enough. I absolutely love this series. I love the way that this ends and I'm ready. I've been building up to this final big battle and finally it's here. I'm so excited. I am reading this for my There Was Nothing technically mythology. It's a mythology retelling, but it's my card game. I can bend the rules. So for the bingo board, this book works for Weapon on the cover. I don't know if you can see that Percy has Riptide right there. So it works for that. And it also works for my continuing a series prompt because I'm continuing a series, as I've established like quite a bit. I'm very excited for that. I love the Percy Jackson series and who knows, maybe once this is all over I can film a reading vlog of me rereading the Heroes of Olympus series, which I haven't touched since they came out. Let's move on. Card number 8 for book number 8 is Ends in an Odd Number. Read a book that ends in an odd number. Okay. I've just drawn Ends in an Odd Number, very fitting. The book that I've chosen for this is, guess what? Another Alice Oseman. This is Radio Silence. I read the first chapter in my sort of like trying a chapter series and I was intrigued. So obviously I had to go and pick this up, but I have checked and this book 402 and this is 403, which is the ending of the book and it's an odd number. So obviously ends in an odd number. It works. Alice Oseman's books are very diverse. I believe our main character in here is asexual. I'm not 100% sure. I'm very excited. I've heard so many good things about this book. I cannot wait to start it. I'm predicting a very emotional June, but oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. This book fits the on a previous TBR prompt because it has been on a previous TBR. There we go. So that was on a previous TBR and that is the prompt I'm going to be reading that for. And card number 9 is Classic. Read a book that's classified as a classic. Okay. So Classic. I am going to be reading the first book in the Earthsea Quartet. Now this has been recommended to me by my dad. I am going to be reading A Wizard of Earthsea, which is the first book in the quartet. I've heard lots of good things from him. So that is the length of the first book. It is 168 pages long. The Earthsea Quartet is a pretty well established fantasy classic series. Let's pull my bingo board up again. This works for my under 300 pages because, as I've just said, this book is 168 pages long. That's very exciting. I look forward to talking to my dad and just having a conversation. So that is very, very exciting. Let's move on. Okay, so card number 10 is Forbidden Magic. Read any fantasy book. Okay, this should be fun. Card number 10, I should say, was Forbidden Magic. This is the book that I'm reading for my 12 books for 12 months for this month. And I'm reading Sabriel by Gareth Nix. This is a pretty cool book. Again, it is a fantasy, so I believe it's a YA fantasy. I've heard quite a lot about it. I'm looking forward to seeing what I think. One of my friends has told me about this and she absolutely loves it. So I've got high hopes. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with her about it, giving her my take on things, but we'll see if I line up with her point of view. The best thing about this is, let's pull up my bingo board. This is a host favourite book. So this is Ro from Wandering Through Worlds. She is one of my team captains, and this is one of her favourite books that is listed on the host favourite books page. It's all part of the readathon. So yes, Sabriel works for that. So I'm very excited. Not only does it work for that, I'm also technically borrowing this from Kindle Unlimited. So it's a loan. I'm borrowing it, so cross off the borrow a book. And because the title of the book is Sabriel, it's also a one-word title. So there we go. 3 prompts for 1 book. So Forbidden Magic will be for Sabriel. And finally, card number 11 is And Then There Was Something. Read a book about any ancient civilization. And the last card that I've picked for this month is And Then There Was Something, which is to read a book about an ancient civilization. This is technically about an ancient civilization. There are also elements of mythology in here. So this is Children of Jocasta. If you know who Jocasta is Oedipus's mother. If you know the story of Oedipus, you know the significance of that. This book follows Jocasta and Ismene. They are sort of main characters in these 2 stories, mainly Oedipus and Antigone. So these 2 are like women in the background, and this is actually their story and how they impact the course of Oedipus and Antigone. I am so excited. I can't wait to reread Natalie Haynes' writing. I really adore her writing. My Pandora's Jar book is up here and I absolutely love that. She has a chapter on Jocasta in there as well. If you're looking for a different take on things, I really enjoyed her A Thousand Ships, which is a retelling the point of view of multiple women for the Trojan War and across the Odyssey. This is again shifting the point of view from Oedipus and Antigone into these backing supporting female characters, and I'm so excited. So yes, while this is technically about mythology, you also have the nod to ancient Greek civilization and society, so I'm very excited. Hopefully I like this. I have high hopes. So, well, that's for And Then There Was Nothing. For my bingo pod, the only prompt this fits is recently hauled. Certain things I'm not able to cross off, mainly the things in grey on the board. So cozy reading time, join the 24-hour readathon, guilt-free activity, join sprints, and complete personal goals. Those are all things outside of reading. But as you can see, I have left a few blank spaces. For last letter, first letter, I am planning on reading Children of Jocasta before I read An Offer from a Gentleman. So that An Offer for a Gentleman will also fit my last letter, first letter prompt. So that is going to be fulfilled by An Offer from a Gentleman, but obviously I need to read this first. I've sent my family chat. I sent them a picture of 4 books that I laid out on the bed. And they replied to me telling me what book I should read out of those for my prol prompt. So as you can see, my prol prompt. And the book that I've chosen for this is Noughts and Crosses. Now again, this is another book that I read in my sort of pick a chapter challenge or trying a chapter challenge. I'm looking forward to picking this up. My sister and my mum have both read it and they say it's fantastic. My sister really enjoyed it. That is what I will be reading for my poll prompt. So the next prompt that I will be tackling is spooky book. If you know me, I do not read many spooky things. I don't enjoy spooky stuff, so I have chosen to read a mystery thriller, I guess. I have read from this author before and I know I like her work, and this book was also on my anticipated releases for this year, and I'm reading The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. Nothing goes unseen and everyone has a story to unlock. The watchful concierge, the scorned lover, the prying journalist, the naive student, the unwanted guest. And there was a murder here last night and the mystery lies behind the door of apartment 3. Who holds the key? I am so excited. I really enjoy Lucy Foley's writing. I find her writing very atmospheric. When I think of her books, I sort of think of like spookier times. Her other books just give that sort of atmosphere, and I think this one will do the same. I'm very excited. So that fits my spooky book prompt, as well as my recently hauled prompt, as well as my less read genre prompt, because I do not read very many thrillers. Very exciting. So that is book number 13. Okay, so the final book that I will be reading for this month has to work for the blank colour on the cover. I sent my sister a request for this and she came back with green, so I have to read a book with a green cover. This book also works for a different format because it's a novella, not a novel. And this also works for the under 300 pages prompt. All of these equal Stuck With You by Ali Hazelwood. Now, as you can see, green on the cover. I have just finished reading the first book in the series, which is Under One Roof, but this book follows Sadie. Now, Sadie is a civil engineer, so Sadie bumps into a guy that she had a relationship with, and turns out he's going to be working on her team, and she absolutely hates everything he stands for, but when they had sex, it was the best sex she had ever had, apparently, according to her and her friends. And I'm intrigued. I am really looking forward to reading this. The fact that it's a novella just makes it better for me. This novella comes out June 7th, so I'm very excited for its release, and I'm very excited to actually get to pick it up in June. Yeah, I really enjoy Ali Hazelwood's writing, and what can I say? What can I say? I really, really love it. So those are all the books that I'm going to be attempting to read in June. Hopefully I have enough time. I shouldn't be working because I'm going to be packing my house. Real packing is about to start. So if you see my shelves depleting slowly, that's why. My mum is also going to be back to help me with the house. I'm looking forward to seeing her. I haven't seen her since last August. I think I've completed all the prompts that aren't grayed out on my bingo cards. That is my goal. Read 14 books. Hopefully it's feasible. Given the way that I've been doing things now, I think I can definitely do it. I think I'm actually going to do a weekly vlog series for this because I think it would be interesting to share my readathon journey with you. So hopefully you're interested and you will stay tuned for that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you want more bookish content. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching this. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.